Deanna. Thanks for inviting us on this call.
Hi, Jay and Scott. I'm so excited to chat with you today and help students level up using VR. Jay, I know that you specialize in VR and language applications and that you work with schools, but what we want to do today is open students' minds on how to have a higher retention of language skills and be more engaged. So my first question to you will be like, what is it about VR that makes language learning immersive?
Oh, so much in there. So we opened our company, Virtual Education Exploration, VEDX, for this very reason. I took 7 years of Arabic, and language was never meant for the classroom because it's rote memorization, it's textbooks, it's quizzes, it's tests. That's not learning language. Learning language is an immersive experience, but not everybody has the chance to travel to another country or culture to learn that language. So at VEDX, our team is dedicated to that access to immersion. There's lots of stuff out there, but coming around to VR, your retention goes from about 5% long-term memory to 75% long-term retention when you immerse yourself in a situation to learn your language.
Wow, that's an amazing statistic. But tell me, how does a student begin learning in VR?
Well, there's lots of ways. Not everybody has access to a VR headset, and that is absolutely okay. You're going to hear a little bit later from one of our top language learning in VR immersive apps called Immerse.Me, but we'll get to that in a second. How does a student start? Well, pretty easy. They can reach out to us. We can get them all set up. We even have our own Global XR Academy where we enroll them in apps such as Immerse.Me to help them through that language learning experience.
Okay, but if I needed a headset, where can I get one?
Lots of places. They're available globally on Amazon. However, depending on your country, you can always reach out and we can help facilitate that if you aren't able to obtain a headset, but you really want one.
That sounds perfect. So based on what you're saying, I can see that there are like two different types of environment, 2D and 3D. Could you explain to me a little bit about the difference between them?
Sure. What you see behind me is a 3D image, but you're viewing it in 2D, which is your flat computer screen. But you could visit this two-dimensional image behind me in 3 dimensions with a set of goggles, but not everybody has those goggles available or the cost is prohibitive. So the next best thing is to jump on a screen and immerse yourself in that 3D environment that you can control with your mouse or keyboard buttons. And again, I'll show you or Scott will show you a demo of what that looks like in just a moment.
What will be like the best way for a student to pick the best program for them?
It depends on the language. There's lots of languages out there. We don't just cover English. Immerse.Me now has, it's got 12 languages, right? Yeah, so we're up to 12 languages that you can choose from and continue to work on them. You don't have to just pick one, which is great when you join one of these immersive apps. And as far as the dimensions, that was the question, right? I think I answered that, Deanna. Yeah?
Yes,
okay.
You did.
Sorry, kind of went off on a tangent.
No, don't worry. So Scott, thank you for joining us. I would love to know more about your platform, Immerse.Me. Can you tell us how it works?
Yeah, sure. Deanna, thank you so much. So my name is Scott. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Immerse.Me. I'm just going to share my screen straight away and take you straight into our platform, which is to help immerse students in different languages. So Jay mentioned we've got these 9 languages currently displayed on my screen, and we're about to release 3 new languages: Arabic, Brazilian Portuguese, and Russian. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how it all works by actually using it. So let's jump into English. We're going to scroll down. We're going to go to a cafe, and we're just going to go order ourselves a coffee. It's just gone morning here in New Zealand, so I'm just going to have a little morning coffee here. So we've got a kind of a conversation, and we're going to essentially role play this out. So I'm going to go start lesson, and then I'm going to play. And there are a few different learning modes you can choose from and things to help scaffold your learning and require the student to become more sort of productive themselves. But to start with, we're going to give them sort of a lot of support and take them through this one sentence at a time.
Hi, welcome to the Lido Cafe. What can I get for you?
Hello, I would like a coffee, please.
Sure, what kind of coffee would you like?
Alrighty, I'm just going to give that a wee pause. So here I can now click and drag the screen around. So I'm doing this on my desktop, which means I have to just use my mouse to control the view, the three-dimensional view, but it's actually a full 360-degree environment. So if you've got a virtual reality headset, as Jay mentioned, you can pop that on, and that way you feel actually truly immersed or present within the situation. He's demonstrating the technology as we speak. And so what we've got here is some speech bubbles to help guide the learner. So what she's saying is also written at the top. So if you're a visual learner, you can read what she's saying as well as listen. We support a few different base languages. So I can switch the speech bubbles into, say, Spanish, if I'm a Spanish speaker, native Spanish speaker, just to get an idea of what's being said and what the translations are. We also have Mandarin Chinese available as well, and we're adding more base languages all the time. And you can kind of slow down the native speaker. It's always intimidating sometimes how fast we speak in our native language. So use the turtle icon, click play again.
Sure, what kind of coffee would you like?
And then we can have a look. A cappuccino, please.
Would you like sugar in your coffee?
That's fine, thanks.
Would you like to have it to sit in or to take away?
Can I have it to take away, please?
That'll be $2.50, please, and that will be with you shortly. Here's your takeaway coffee. Enjoy.
And so as you can see, I'm harnessing kind of speech recognition technology. There's sort of an AI algorithm going on behind the scenes that transcribes that into text and then matches it with the sentences that we're displaying. But if you're also not sure how a sentence sounds, you can click play audio.
Smells delicious. Thank you.
Still got slow mode on there. I'll play that back again.
Smells delicious. Thank you.
So that's for the learner to then listen to that and repeat that as many times as they need to practice. And then when they feel more confident, they can click record. Smells delicious. Thank you. And when they get it right, they get to move on. And that's the end of that particular lesson. So that's kind of the gist of what we're trying to do, is drop students into real life language learning scenarios and allow them to interact with a native speaker kind of in an asynchronous environment, which means it's totally up to the student when they want to practice. They're not relying on the time of their teacher or tutor or classmates. They can jump on and do this anytime that they have available.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about that is that we searched high and low for a language immersion where you can practice speaking. I mean, I know when I was taking Arabic, the hardest part was the teacher would make up a fake scenario, and then the students would have to pretend to be somebody, and then we would just struggle because neither of us really could help the other one. In this situation, you almost get your own video tutor. So that space that you were in, that cafe you just saw, you get to practice that 10 times till you can get that pronunciation right. And I think that's what's really important about this, because learning the language is the hardest part, is speaking and responding to a question without feeling embarrassed, without looking at somebody's face and feeling like you don't know what to say, So I think, this is one of the best in the world for doing this. And the fact that you can do it on a PC, you can do it in the goggle set. And if you're a school, you can actually have this for your whole school, all your students, and be able to track it in the back end and assign different content to those students. So if you're listening to this right now and you're a student and you want this at your school, go talk to your language teacher and say, hey, I heard about this really great program to practice and learn the language that looks a little bit more fun. And if you're a student and you just want to connect with us and get this all squared away and learn, you can go ahead and contact us through our Global XR Academy there, and we can enroll you in the class and see if there's anything else you want to add to your language learning experience. So if you want to talk about leveling up for a student, practice and immersion, long-term memory retention rather than rote memorization of vocabulary.
Exactly.
Scott, I have a question regarding the level. So for example, I'm beginner in Italian, but I'm intermediate in French. like, could I use the platform for both languages? How do the levels work?
Yeah, good question. We just split levels into 3, make it really simple. So when you come into a language, you can filter. I'm not sure if you can see this behind the Zoom video, but there's a filter up here: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So that allows you to find the most relevant lessons that are at the level for you. And obviously, every language you go to, you can choose which level you want to look at. So come into Italian, click beginner. Now you can only see basic content like counting numbers, days of the week, saying how old your family members are, that kind of stuff that you learn in the first sort of few months of a beginner program. And as soon as you're ready to kind of move yourself forward into intermediate or advanced, you can at the click of a button. And actually teachers have sort of an admin account to control what you sort of see. So they can set up a new unit in here with specific lessons for you to focus on. So pretty simple. It's up to you to kind of interpret what level you're at. Different programs around the world label it in different ways. European framework use, A1, A2, B1, B2, etc. And so we're constantly developing new content for different levels and different curricula around the world.
Amazing. I love that flexibility. How about the cost? How much is it to use?
Yeah, sure. So if you hop onto our homepage, there are a couple of different sort of time-based subscriptions for an individual. So I think the year-long subscription is $300 for a full year, and it's kind of like having a personal sort of virtual language assistant available to you 24/7 to practice and interact with. So there's a couple of shorter-term options as well, say 3-month and 1 month. But yeah, you can just pop along to our website, and the longest one is 12 months for $300.
Wow, and that's for unlimited use.
That's
so
right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And can I just use it on my desktop, or does it work in other devices?
Yeah, it works on pretty much every device, actually. So we've built this using kind of a WebXR framework, which runs it through the browser on your device. So on my laptop, I can use it on Chrome, Firefox, Safari. If I've got an iPad, I can open it in Safari. On mobile, you can use Android, you can use Chrome, and Apple, obviously Safari as well. And then if you've got access to sort of the range of virtual reality headsets, all the way from kind of a mobile powered headset. So you'd use your phone as the screen, all the way through to sort of the Oculus Rift, Oculus Quest as well, HTC Vive. They all have an inbuilt browser. So you would open up the default browser on that headset, log into our homepage, go to a lesson. And then when you get to that lesson, just on the right-hand side, where we saw the slow down turtle icon, just below that is the virtual reality goggle icon, and you tap that and the whole thing will kind of then wrap around you. And that's how you access this, the VR aspect. But like you said, you don't need a virtual reality headset. If you've got a desktop or laptop or tablet or mobile, you can pop in and get started straight away.
That's amazing. I love that you can basically use it anywhere, anytime. So I will be interested to know, like, why should a person pick this app versus other apps? Like, what do you think is like the difference? Like, why is it best?
Why is it better? Look, there's so many great apps out there. I mean, what we've tried to do is just go straight to, putting language into context and allowing you to practice actual real life scenarios. And I think one of the messages I had from a teacher actually recently, or pre-COVID, I should say, was one of her students. So she was based over in Australia, and one of her students had gone off to Europe with her family over the Christmas holidays, and she got this email from the student saying, "Miss, Madame, I can't believe it. I'm in France and I'm using all this language that I learned on Immerse Me and what you taught me, and it's amazing. And my parents are like asking me to order all the food for them and do all these things because I know what to do. And this is incredible. I've loved learning French, and I can't wait to be in your class again next year." And I think, like, for me, that really, like, that kind of hit home about what this is all about. There's an application, there's a purpose, there's a reason for actually, being able to practice language and use it in the real world. and it's not sort of boring and repetitive. It's actually fun and interactive. So that's kind of what we're doing. I mean, there's plenty of other really cool tools out there, and for different purposes, and for different style learners. But yeah, I think immersive is pretty cool.
Yeah, and so do we. And Scott's working with us on the Global XR Academy, and every one of the enrollments includes immersive. But you also get some other language support, possible tutoring. We have classes that take place ever so often for business and engineering English. So basically, you can enroll just with immersive at the Global XR Academy, or you can enroll with a suite of other things too. So I'm excited to see where all of this goes. And if you enroll at the Global XR Academy, you get to have a class that you're going through with, and so that's exciting too.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Scott, for answering my questions. I don't know if you have any final thoughts for students who are looking to level up in their language skills.
Well, I would just say, it's certainly small amounts of effort more often are better than sort of cramming at once. And so I think, 5 or 10 minutes a day really starts to add up, and just enjoy it, like ultimately, you've got your own goals and dreams and thoughts about where you'd want to go with your language skills, and focus on those outcomes, and focus on building your confidence, and don't see learning a language as this giant mountain. See it as a series of little checkpoints, and if you can become confident and fluent in the context of certain scenarios that are most important to you, then that's awesome, right? And others might want to take it further, but just decide what you want and what you need, and work towards it.
Thank you, Scott.
And I would say, as far as my advice for leveling up, is do it with a friend. Because if you both join immersive, you can compete with a score, because you do get a score for as many things that you've done. And if you do it together to learn the language, you're going to be pushing each other. Oh, I saw you didn't get above your 300 last week. So, I would say learn a language with a friend. It brings the social aspect back. Language is meant to be social and engaging and immersive.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. It was great talking to you. And for all the students, if you're interested in finding out more, search for us, globalxracademy.org, immerseme.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Diana.